Good evening, friends, and welcome to this special briefing. As you can see, I have with me Shri M.C. Luther. He is the Protector General of Immigrants. And the purpose of this part of my briefing is to have a briefing from him on the Migrate system. This, as you may know, is an online platform for safe and legal migration to the ECR countries. And it's really a one-stop solution for anyone wishing to go abroad to these countries for work through authorized registered agents. So the way we will handle this is Shri Luther will first give you a broad presentation through PowerPoint, and thereafter he is willing to take a few questions, and after that I'll resume my regular press briefing. With that, I give the floor to Protector General of Immigrants.
Thank you, Vikas. First of all, many of you would have seen the Honorable Prime Minister's speech at the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. Several references were made to the good work that is being done by MEA, particularly this project, the Migrate. What is this Migrate is what we're going to talk about today. And also the Honorable President made a reference in his concluding remarks also about this project and the safety, the security of Indian citizens all over the world is what is ensured through the system. With that, I'll begin my presentation. The vision and the objectives are before you. I don't want to read it out. It's very clear. Quality of services to immigrants. This was actually an offline process which has been brought online over the last 2 years. Ease of doing business. No immigrant has to travel to any of the 10 Protector of Immigrants offices, which were erstwhile, many years ago, there were very many problems of people traveling to these offices and finding themselves at a loss. Simplifying the processes and also interfaces with key stakeholders. Who are these key stakeholders? We'll see in the next slide. These are the key stakeholders. A unique system found anywhere not found anywhere else in the world. A system which is integrated with the foreign employers, the recruiting agents, the immigrants, the Bureau of Immigration, that is the Home Ministry, the Passport Seva project, the foreign, as well as the state governments and police, and the immigrants, all on one single platform. No other country has designed a program like this. Next. Now, this is what it looks like. This website can be accessed on your mobile phone or on any kind of internet connected device from anywhere in the world, 24/7, 365 days. And I will just take you to what it does. These are the features that are available on this. Is it clickable? Yeah, this is online. If you look at the immigrant, there's a drop-down menu. What all an immigrant can do. If any of your friends is stuck somewhere and you don't know where he is, all you have to do is track his EC status or verify EC status on the second button. And can you just click that? The verify EC status. All you need to do is put his passport number, enter the capture code. You will know exactly where he is. Is he in distress? Who is his foreign employer? Who is his recruiting agent? We can track them down. We can help even to tell you what was his insurance policy number. Next. So there are many features. Who is the foreign employer in the system? Now, as on date, today morning's figure is 89,993, I think, foreign employers registered on the system from all the 18 ECR countries. Next. So these are the project exporters. Many big project exporters from India send our workers to many projects all over the world for construction, for roads, or for bridges, other things. They apply for a permit online. They don't have to visit any of my offices. And they send almost thousands of workers for a project. For example, 2020, we are going to have this FIFA in Qatar. Many of the project exporters working there have sent their workers through the system after taking an immigration clearance. Next. Recruiting agents. The word recruiting agent is a bad word in the terminology, but let me tell you, they're not all bad, but there are a lot of them who are. And how, through the system, we take instant action against the recruiting agents who are taking large sums of money under the table, and how quickly, in fact, it's a matter of seconds that we can switch them off. We act on this, especially when there's a human rights violation. You must be knowing that on Twitter and on other social media, we keep getting videos. Some of those videos are pretty gory and very sad. Those are the videos where once we get the passport number, we can immediately track down who was the agent, where did he send him, and who is his foreign employer. We can even switch off the recruiting agent immediately so that he can go and rescue this person. We can also take action against the foreign employer, put him on the prior approval category list, and ensure that both the agent and the employer will behave, failing which there are measures which will follow. For example, recruitment agents deposit with my office a bank guarantee of 50 lakhs before they get a license, which is valid for 5 years. If they misbehave, immediately we switch off the license, which means what? Instantly shutter down of their operations. And he has to first go and rescue the Indian immigrant abroad, and only then we reopen his license. All this online, instantaneous. All I need to do is get an email or a tweet. Next. We can search in the system the whole database of the recruitment agent, the exporter, the employer, and also the minimum referral wage. Right now, the minimum referral wages have been fixed. Way back in 2014, it is under review because oil prices and other conditions cause the wages to go up and down at places. So this is under review. But we can search how much does a carpenter get paid in, say, Qatar or in UAE or Saudi. And we match those wages across the whole 18 ECR countries. Next. These are the resources available. And in these resources, we even have list of newspapers, even in small districts of India, where the recruitment agent can advertise for selecting or recruiting Indian workers. You may be surprised to know that plumbers are found in India by the droves only in Orissa, or wire drawers are found only in Coimbatore, or painters are found only in Churu or Rajasthan, some of the districts adjoining Churu. So this is a fantastic system where we can know how and where they can advertise, and even the advertisements are prescribed in a format where they have to give their license number. If they don't give their license number, we are in touch with the Press Council of India, which gives the guidelines, and we can act against false advertisements and newspapers which carry these misleading advertisements. Next. All payments are online. All digital payments enabled. Everyone who pays gets a receipt online instantaneously. There is no cash transaction in eMigrate. These are all archives of recent orders because this is a system. It's an ongoing work in progress system, and therefore all our recent circulars are uploaded online. Can you just come on the recent ones? Okay, so these are questions on nurses, immigration, grievance redressal, FE registration, and the works. The next. The last one is PBBY policy. The wonderful thing about this, the immigrant pays only 275 rupees for a 2-year contract, gets in return an online policy for 10 lakh of rupees. Till those 2 years, he doesn't come back. He's under cover of this. So why I'm saying all these things is, okay, you can go back to the next slide, please, is that this is a safety net, which is available to every Indian citizen who travels abroad for work in 18 ECR countries, where exploitation is maximum, labor protection is less. This whole eMigrate system draws its basis from the Immigration Act 1983 and the rules made thereunder. And it defines what we can do, what we cannot do, and this act has been amended several times so as to make it more facilitative and increase the bank guarantee, for example, recently from 20 lakhs to 50 lakhs. And we can also, using the sections of this e-migrate, bring in sections which are not covered. For example, earlier, the nurses were not covered. But we have, through a notification, brought in the nurses because we found that the nurses are getting exploited in several countries. This whole thing is administered in the headquarters by PGE office and the Overseas Employment Division now, and the 10 POE offices. You can see the stations where they are located. And all of us are connected online 24/7. Next. These stakeholders. Now, what exactly is the immigration clearance I'm talking about? This is just a flow chart to help you understand how we do it. The foreign employer submits his demand online. That means in Saudi, they have, for example, a system of giving quotas to big recruitment agents who are known as istiqdam holders. They can get 20,000 workers in a year or whatever. So they raise a demand on whom? On the recruitment agents licensed by MEA. The recruitment agent accepts the demand and he then conducts the recruitment activity of interviews and recruitment, trade testing, and checking the validity, especially like, for example, drivers. Somebody has to see whether he actually has a driving license or not. And then the selection of candidates. Many times during the selection process, the foreign employer himself comes down to India, goes to the rural areas, sees that the trade test is being conducted properly, and only then he chooses the RA through whom he wants to recruit. And then, after the selection of shortlisted candidates, for selecting 50 candidates, let us say carpenters, he has to test almost 200. Then he shortlists, grades, and sends the visa for selected 50 people. The visa, along with that, comes the employment contract, duly signed by the foreign employer. When it comes online here, the candidate signs this, and the recruitment agents also signs it. It's a tripartite contract. And after that, he applies to the 10 POE offices, any of them nearest to him, online. And my immigration officer will then validate all the documents. There are about 10 documents which come: demand letter, power of attorney, license, and wages, employment contract, Bima, Pravasi Bharatiya Bima Yojana, etc. He checks each and everything and then he presses the button OK. EC is given. Once the EC is given into the system, it goes to the Bureau of Immigration in all the 168 airports and land ports from where he will exit. When the candidate goes to the airport with the visa stamped, his passport is swiped. There's a pop-up in his computer, and he says, okay, so-and-so, traveling on so-and-so country, wages, employer, recruitment agent. He stamps his passport and he's allowed to travel. So that is the verification of documents, and then departure. Now, in this whole cycle, if any immigrant has got a grievance, he can lodge it online. Grievance, once registered, travels straight to the protector of immigrants who gave the clearance. And then he calls the recruitment agents and says, you redress this grievance, otherwise your shutter is down, thank you very much. So any grievance settlement in the current environment, for all of us, grievance redressal is of prime importance, because grievance redressal tells us where our system is lacking, where the user it at the receiving end, and how we can facilitate it. Grievances are monitored by me personally and also by the POEs on a daily basis. Some of the POEs are clogged because of certain manpower issues or technical issues. We intervene. We say, you put more people for grievance redressal so that we can get into the system and help out. Next, please. What are the salient features of this system? Online registration, renewals, and EC. Online intimation for recruitment activities. Authenticity check for registered agents or employers. Many of the students, university students, email me or my POE officers saying, sir, we've got a job offer from this guy. We went on the net and we got it. How do we know he's a registered recruitment agent or he's not a fraud? We tell him, go into eMigrate, track employer, track recruitment agent. It will come. The PDF document is downloaded and it is updated every day. And you can make out whether the recruitment agent is a licensed agent or he's a fraudulent or an illegal agent. And then also after the immigrant's travel status, we showed you on the first picture, there is a EC, status EC verification. We'll show you in the mobile app also in a bit how it happens. So you can find out exactly whether the person has traveled or not. ID cards for immigrants. Now I have here with us, from 1st January, though it was inaugurated some time back, we have every person who gets an immigration clearance gets this card posted to his address listed in his passport. This card captures his photograph, all his details, his RA name, his passport number, period of employment, and also who is the POE officer who issued this. And at the reverse is his foreign employer's name, his address, and the address of the Indian mission he should contact in case of an emergency. Now, even if, what we tell the workers is, if your passport is taken away, never mind, this is your passport. In the sense that in foreign countries, there is a question of issuing of an ikama or a civil ID, which is far more important than the passport. Trend is, the moment you land up in that country, your passports are taken away, saying कि हमारा ikama बनाएंगे आपका. But that ikama banna itself could take up to 2 years. So this guy is lost. He's virtually imprisoned. So this is what is his rescue. Now, this has all his details. With this, he can go anywhere and say, yes, I am an immigrant. When he approaches the embassy, the mission can immediately track him. And this is going to every immigrant. So far, I think we've issued about how many? 15,000, because it started from 1st of January this year. But otherwise, as on date, almost 1.5 million immigrants have traveled through Migrate. And our umbrella of protection is there exclusively for these people. And then e-locker. Now this is something, a unique phenomenon. You must have heard of digital locker. We all have digital lockers where we keep all our digitally signed certificates. We can access it 24/7 anywhere. Such is this also an e-locker, where your passport is digitally verified and saved, your document, your employment contract, your home papers, whatever, all are there in the e-locker, which is accessible online through the www worldwide net. So he has access to it. Even if he's not having anything, even he doesn't have this card, he can just put his passport number, access his e-locker, and get all his documents. Next. Now this is benefits for stakeholders. We've been talking about this. We start with validation of passport by the Passport Seva project of MEA and the Bureau of Immigration. Less paperwork, 24/7, 365 tracking, elimination of printing of immigration clearances. Earlier, this printing used to take a lot of time, and there were huge queues in the POE offices. And then, of course, it's online grievance redressal, online payment processing, online dashboards, online generation of reports, and faster processing at every level. So this is the wonderful thing that we have. Next. So I would say smart immigration clearance or smart EC, this is what it is. SMART stand for these things: measurable, authentic, real-time tracking, transparent for everybody, every stakeholder. Next. So this is the journey so far. We started in May 2014, which was rolled out in the POE offices. Then in January 2015, we started with the paperless immigration at the airports. And you can read the journey. In June, about the nurses being brought under Migrate. In June, again, foreign employers, registration through Indian missions, paperless immigration clearance, registration of recruitment. Now, what we are doing, let me share an example that the recruitment agent's license used to take years to get renewed. They were so troubled that they all made a big hue and cry. We've crunched this delay from 2 years to 2 months. But my target is to do it within 30 days. So, and I hope, and I'm sure, confident that we will achieve it, provided the recruitment agent gives all the correct documents online. And strengthening, particularly the last one we did was strengthening of immigration clearances for female ECR passport holders from India. We are very concerned about this whole issue. And External Affairs Minister has time and again stressed the need to protect our women immigrants, that they are not exploited. Next. Okay, as on December, we have 1.5 million immigrants who have traveled through the system. Their data is captured with us. At the touch of a button, we can access that data. 85,000 was in December. As I told you, today's figure is 89.93, 89,930 something. And 1,300 active recruitment agents. Now, what is the difference between active and inactive? I'll tell you. There are deactivated agents as a measure of penalty. There are agents whose licenses have been suspended, and there are agents whose licenses have been cancelled. But on an average, we have on our radar 1,500 agents, recruited agents. And we would like to take this forward, recruit more ethical agents, agents who follow the law. And we would like to deactivate and chuck out from the system people who are not following the law. Next. So this is the overall highlights. Where all the people are going, from which states are they going? UP and Bihar have overtaken Kerala and Tamil Nadu. You can see the figure. 30% of our immigrants are going out of UP. 15% Bihar, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal. Kerala is only 6% now. So this is the trend. Next. And where are they going from? Where are the registered recruitment agents located? Because Gulf travel mostly happens from Mumbai or the western coast, we have almost 700 to 800 recruitment agents in Mumbai. The rest are in Kerala, Delhi, Tamil Nadu, and other states. Next. Okay, this is what we are talking about, a mobile app. This has been developed quite some time back. You can download this app currently only on Android, not on iOS. We are working on iOS. And we are working after that on even the feature phones, so that even a worker may not have a smartphone, he can have this. He can track his status. This is how he tracks his status. This is application status. So once you put next the number, the status is shown. The application status is traveled. The next, similarly, you verify the EC status. You put the passport number, and comes there immigration clearance granted by the Protector of Immigrants Delhi on 24/11/2014, and his ARN number also comes. ARN number is the key. It's like an ID. You put it into the system, the whole back-end process comes forward, and we can see exactly the details. Similarly, demand verification is the foreign employer. He should have a license to demand for 500 workers or 1,000 workers. So that is the demand. Once he registers his demand on my system, only then he is allowed to recruit from India, not otherwise. Next. So he puts the demand ID, and it says where demand is valid. Recruitment agent he has selected, his name is MD Security Services. Next. So that's how it goes. It's a system unique in the world. Many countries have come and seen it, and they want to borrow it. That's what it is. And it has been developed at a cost of about 92 crores. By TCS in the last 2 years, valid till 2020. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Luther, for that very comprehensive presentation. Now, if you have any questions, Sridhar.
So you mentioned that UP and Bihar have now overtaken Tamil Nadu and Kerala in the number of immigrants traveling abroad. Where are they? Which are the destinations that the immigrants from UP and Bihar are heading to? And if these statistics that you furnished, 30% for UP, 15% for, this is over a time, which time period? This is for
This is last 1 year.
So
Latest.
2016 calendar year.
Latest.
Okay, so I just want to know what are the reasons why the immigration from the southern states has declined, and conversely, the immigration from these two North Indian states has increased, and where are they heading to?
Yeah, I'll tell you. We have another pie chart which we have not shown here today. It is what are the destinations. Preferred destinations are Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Kuwait. These are the preferred destinations where the people are going. The going or migration per se is dependent on a lot of factors. A, what is the job availability in that state? Nobody wants to travel abroad if he's got a job next door. Number two, it is also related to drought. If there is drought, there's severe drought, we've tracked top 10 districts or labor sending districts, and what is the pattern? Pattern coincides with drought, because with drought, there is no job in agriculture or industry, and people want to run to a place where they can earn their livelihood and support their family. So it is correlated. The studies are on in various places. For example, now I am expecting Tamil Nadu to increase because they are still reeling under drought. So it will increase. So it is a cyclical migration. But many times now, for example, in the current year, the number going to Saudi has come down because of their own economic conditions or other issues of fall in the value, the oil prices. So people are coming back in droves. Last year, the average number has come down from 7.5 lakhs per annum across the Gulf countries to 5.5 in 2016. Why has it come down? There are these external factors which impinge on it. And when you people see the news and say that they are in distress, उनको खाना नहीं मिल रहा है, उनको पीना नहीं मिल रहा है, तो वापस आ जाते हैं. So जब वापस आ रहे हैं लोग तो फिर वो जाएंगे क्यों? Does that answer your question? Thank you.
What percentage of workers use this system? I mean, there must be a lot of others who are still going on their own. Is everybody covered? I suppose not.
See, we are covering only blue-collared workers as on date. Blue-collared means less than 10th class educated, because in their passports, on the back page where the barcode is, it is written immigration check required. But some of them are smart. And mind you, they're very street smart. Some of them also can apply for their own EC on their own without the help of a recruitment agent. And they are doing it. We have the numbers. If you want, we can share it with you.
But the question I think she's asking is, can someone go who's required, but without the system, can somebody still migrate without the system?
Yes, yes. That is my biggest problem, the trafficking.
So that's trafficking.
You see, see, that is not legal migration.
Illegal
They are
migration.
all going on a tourist visa, getting trapped and untraceable for us because they're not captured on my system. So we would like, ideally, that everybody should come on board. Yes.
Legally.
Legal way,
yeah.
this is the only way.
To the ECR countries, this is the only legal way. Yeah.
There are many non-ECR passport holders. They are going. How do they go?
Non-ECR passport means he is well educated to
Correct.
take care of himself. So he doesn't have to register in the system as on date.
This is meant for the ECR countries only.
He's going to ECR countries. He's a non-ECR passport holder.
That's right. He is well educated. He
Yeah.
may be an engineer. He doesn't need EC clearance.
Correct. Only those who need the EC clearance, which is stamped on your passport, if you are under grade 10, then only you require this. Vinita.
You talked about safety and security of women. Is there any regulation to prevent women of certain age group from going as ECR workers or immigrant workers? Also, what happens if they land through the tourist visa and they still get to work and then they're exploited there?
There are several safeguards for immigration of women. First of all, if they take an EC, the employer has to deposit a bank guarantee of $2,500 in the mission. The $2,500 has to be deposited in the mission. The receipt has to be uploaded by the foreign employer who has to be registered on our system. The mission also verifies and validates the visa being issued for that woman. The restrictions are no woman below the age of 30 can go, no woman above the age of 50, women can go. Okay? And most of the problems are coming because all these women are bypassing my system. Why? Because $2,500 is pretty steep. In the grey market, they pay about $1,000 and go through some recruitment agent who traffics them. And they're untraceable, they're unreported on my system. I cannot reach out and rescue them. The mission has no clue, so how to rescue? That is why greater safeguards for women are there. And I have specially instructed all our POEs that please be very, very careful when you're giving EC clearance for a woman. There was a case from Trivandrum which came up to me last week, a woman's case, but he has written there male. And when we saw the photograph, there's a mismatch. So my POE in Trivandrum, she's very smart. She said, sir, this is a fraud. I said, okay, you deactivate the license of that fellow. Immediately, no questions asked. It's absolutely clear that he's doing a fraud. So that is what we have to be very alert. Yeah, the age group of 30 is not applicable for nurses because they are well trained, well educated. But let me tell you, nurses are also very much under the exploited category because of the poor wages of the nurses in India. Even in big hospital chains in India, their salary is not more than 15,000 or 13,000. But there, when they go, their salary is almost 5 times that money. So they want to go. And therefore, they are prepared to take the risk and not go through my system, but go on a tourist visa to Dubai, appear for an interview, and then get selected. But they are not captured here. If she gets into trouble, I can't reach out to her.
Yeah.
There were reports that immigration clearance required data is incomplete and ministry is addressing some lacunas. So what is the status of that?
See, data is full and complete 100% for those who have gone through my system. If they have gone on a tourist visa, I can't help it, sir, because they have gone illegally and they have allowed to be sent illegally. Many of the times, particularly women domestic workers from Telangana and Andhra, and I can name all the districts from where they are going, this is the reason. They are being trafficked, they are being sold, they are being, going with no cover whatsoever of the government. There is no cover. That is why we hear all these horror stories of housemaids and issues. Our shelter homes of the missions are full. We cannot take on more people because these are the people who went illegally.
Some recruiting agents had gone to Mumbai High Court against this system. What happened to that case?
All the cases were transferred to the Delhi High Court in the nurses case, and I appeared before the Delhi High Court in August or September last year, and they are convinced that what steps the government is taking to protect the women workers, particularly the domestic and the nurses, are correct. So they have all 37 cases are tagged together in the Delhi High Court. 3 judges have changed, but they have not changed their view on what the government is doing.
I see. Okay. Pranay.
Sir, any mechanism for the existing migrants to get this ECR card done through our missions?
They already have an EC. They already have an EC.
No, but their passports have been taken by their employers.
Yeah.
To get this facility, that if they want to approach
Yeah.
mission,
So
You want somebody who went
Yeah.
before the system
Yeah,
was
before the
launched.
system.
That's what you're
Yeah,
asking.
yeah. See, we don't have the data pre-2014. Those who went after 2014, after taking the EC, we can very well, in retrospect, track them, give them their cards, because card printing has just started. But their soft ID card in the e-locker is always available to them. That is there. Second thing is, from 2007, this was a system which was managed by the National Informatics Center, NIC. We also have at our back end data of all immigrants who took immigration clearance and went under the hard copy system in the NIC system, and we can still track them. Thirdly, those who are traveling on tourist visa, it's not as if we can't catch them. It takes a little hard work. Some of the countries have very good systems in place. Like we have eMigrate, Saudi has eTawteeq, or they have another system, Injaz. You put the passport number in Injaz, you come to know who went on a tourist visa, who was granted the tourist, and who was the recruitment agent who stamped the tourist visa. Even that is helping us to capture the recruitment agents and stop their work till they don't go and rescue the person.
Okay, I think I would thank you for this very comprehensive briefing. I'm sure for many of you, it would be the first time that you have really come to know of the revolutionary nature of the eMigrate system, how it can really be a one-stop solution for all individuals wishing to migrate who have ECR status. And I think this will only go from strength to strength and will help in ensuring safe, orderly, and legal migration for all Indians wishing to go abroad. Thank you very much.